so in previous lecture we discussed theoretically what is administrative distance, either AD. So let me revise quickly. Administrative distance is the feature, okay, and the routers, and router use this to select best path. So it means administrative distance is measure how trusted routing protocol is. It defines the reliability of routing protocol. Administrative distance number start from 0 and end on 255. 255 is the worst and 0 is the best. So it means the smaller the administrative distance value, more reliable the protocol is. And this AD is only locally significant. So keep in mind, it's never advertised in the routing update. It's only locally. So router is running multiple routing protocol. AD is to determine trustable protocol. AD is the only thing to decide which protocol is the more trustable. Keep in mind, we can use distance command and Cisco router to increase or decrease the administrative distance. These are some of the default administrative distance which you need to keep in mind, which will help us in the lab. Connected interface is 0, static route 1, EIGRP summary 5, external BGP 20, EIGRP 90, OSPF 110, RIP 120, external EIGRP 170, internal BGP 200, and unknown is 255. So let's do a small lab. Let's take 3 router R1, R2 and R3. They are interconnected with each other. 192.168.12.1 and 12.2, and then 23.2 and 23.3. That's it. And we will configure 3 different routing protocol, such as EIGRP with administrative distance 90, OSPF with administrative distance 110, and RIP with administrative distance 120, and we will see the result, which routing protocol has been selected and why. So let's go to lab. I have R1. So let me configure the basic stuff. So this is R1 configuration. Let me configure IP address. Okay, so I don't need, only I need up to this point. Okay, copy and paste. So R1 basic configuration is done. Let's go to R2, and R2, let's configure R2 two interfaces. So let me copy this and paste. So R2 has been configured. Let's go to R3 and let's configure R3 basic configuration. Okay, so all 3 routers are configured with this IP 12.1, 12.2, 23.2, 23.3. Okay, now let's configure EIGRP and all 3 routers. So let me copy this one and go to R1. Okay, and R2 has 2 interfaces. So let's go to R2 and configure EIGRP. R3 has only 1 interface to advertise, so let me copy this one and advertise. Done. So EIGRP has been configured on all 3 routers. Let's configure OSPF on all 3 routers. So let me go to here, and OSPF has been configured in R2, and R2 has 2 interfaces. So let's configure OSPF in R2. Let's go to R3, and R3 has only 1 interface. So let's configure here as well. Done. Now let's configure RIP version 2 on all 3 routers. So let me go to R1 and done. Let's go to R2 and configure RIP version 2. And let's go to R3 and configure RIP version 2 on all these 3 routers. That's it. And now let's go to R1 and check the routing table. So show IP route, and you can see it select EIGRP, because D is for EIGRP, as we know. Let's go to R2 and let's check out here, show IP route. So here, because they have both connected routes, so there is no EIGRP, but here you will see, so show IP route, and here you can see they select 12 with the EIGRP. They select EIGRP, and the reason we already know, we just discussed, and previously we also discussed. EIGRP AD value is 90, OSPF 110 and RIP 120. That's why they select EIGRP as the best based on AD value. Let's increase EIGRP AD value. As I told you, we can use distance command to increase the AD, either to decrease. So this is the command. We need to go to EIGRP1 and type distance command with EIGRP, and let's increase for internal, and this one is for external. So let me copy this and paste in all three routers. Okay, so let me go to config and paste. So I increase here, and let's go to R2 and increase here as well, and let's go to R3 and increase AD value here. Now let's see the result. If we go back, before they say that 23 is the best based on this one D, EIGRP. Let's check out again, show IP route, and this time they are showing through OSPF, because OSPF administrative distance is, here I already told you, administrative distance is 110. Before EIGRP win, this time OSPF win, because I increase the AD value of EIGRP 125. So second is this one. So that's why OSPF win this time. You get what I'm saying? So now R1, and also if I go to R3, before it was showing through EIGRP. And let's check out show IP route. So this time you will see through OSPF, because OSPF is administrative distance 110. Before, administrative distance was 90. Let's increase the AD value of OSPF as well. So we can use distance command this time for OSPF. Distance OSPF intra area 130. Let's make them 130, and also for inter area. So this is the command I need to type in all three routers to increase. So let me go to configuration. So R1 is done, and now let's go to R2, and now let's go to R3. So I increased administrative distance 130 before, and by default it is 110. Now who gonna win? This time RIP will win, because RIP has 120, and I change the OSPF 130, and I change EIGRP 125. So RIP is the best this time. So if we go back and check in R3, show IP route, and here you can see this time 120, and R means RIP. And also in R1 you can verify here, show IP route, and again it will be R23 with RIP, okay, because of administrative distance. So now we prove that with the help of AD they decide. Otherwise we have configured three different routing protocol here, which you can verify, show IP protocol. So here we have configure, here you can see is configure EIGRP, and also we have configure OSPF. Here you can see OSPF is already configured, and we have configured RIP as well. So based on administrative distance they decide RIP is the best, because we increase the AD value of OSPF and EIGRP. By default EIGRP will win, because EIGRP has 90 AD value. Then OSPF will win, and the last one is 120. Okay, so if we go back, so now we configure all these things and then we verify. Okay, that's it.